would you like to use your AI digital twin to create financial freedom? Manuj Aggarwal will tell us how to do it. He's the founder and Chief Innovation Officer for TetraNoodle Technologies, an elite AI engineering company. And with a remarkable track record of driving transformative change, Manuj, through TetraNoodle, has touched at least 10 million lives and generated over $500 million in value through his expertise in technology and AI. So Manuj, tell us, how can entrepreneurs use a digital twin, an AI digital twin, to create financial freedom?
AI Superwoman podcast with Lily Patrascu shares the world's most innovative AI tools and processes to go from technophobe to AI pro, attract leads, close sales, automate your business, enhance productivity, and deploy AI agents to do your work.
Yeah. You see, the AI that you get from companies like OpenAI and Microsoft and Google, you can think of it as like crude oil. And just like crude oil, you will not put in your car, it will not give you as much depth. So what we do in my company, what we do is we create a digital twin which understands your logical mind as well as your emotional mind. And so this personalized AI starts thinking like you, starts making decisions like you, but also it's a super intelligent version of you because it has access to so much knowledge. So think that you all of a sudden, gain access to a genius level IQ, and basically it's a replica of you with that much knowledge, with that much intelligence, with that much power. What can you achieve? It's the sky is the. I mean, I can honestly say even sky is not the limit, because consider it this way: Einstein had an IQ of 170. ChatGPT today has an IQ of 150. Okay. By the end of this year, ChatGPT is expected to have an IQ of 1,500. So that kind of intelligence will be available to everyone on their fingertips. But if we can personalize it, if we can make it think like us, that's a game changer right there.
Thank you. What's required to create this AI digital twin to create financial freedom? Because, for example, let's say if I have all the standard operating procedures of how I think, how I publish, how I train my staff, how I publish videos, how I, turn everyone into a global brand, anything like that, then I assume it's easy for this AI digital twin to copy me. But imagine I have zero. Where would someone go to start to create this AI digital twin?
So even when we talk about SOPs and all of that, that's our logical kind of logical way of doing things. But more important it is to feed our emotional aspects, okay? Because that's how it really reflects us as a human being. Human beings are not just logical thinkers. We are deeply emotional, right? So two pieces of artifacts. One is the personality test. We have a specific one that we use, which is known to be very, very effective. And another one is your life journey. Basically, all the major events that have happened in your life, what kind of impact they had on you as a person, what key takeaway you remember. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you were bullied in school when you were 8 years old, and you remember that incident, and now for several decades you carry that pain in your mind that, hey, I was bullied and hence I'm not good enough, I need to be careful when I talk to people. These type of things are very, very subtle, but they impact our decision making, they impact how we show up in the world. But if you are able to feed all this information into AI, it actually starts to replicate you very deeply as a human being.
Wow, that's fascinating. Are you saying that, for example, let's say my grandma beat me when I was between 4 and 18 years old. How does that trauma impact me from a personality perspective, and how does that translate into AI digital twin, this AI digital twin being able to replicate me on an emotional level? And what will that mean for the customers that I'm aiming to impact?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. You see, this trauma, most of the time, human beings, as we evolve to sort of take things negatively, and that is for our security. So if somebody, we got a beating as a child, that trauma lives in us, and we understand that we are less for all kinds of these negative emotions, right? Now, if we look at life, every hardship we later find out is a lesson in disguise. Okay, it's just a perspective change that, okay, if I got a beating, that means I grew stronger, and now I'm able to face the world with more bravery, with more courage, because that didn't break me. So anything else that the life throws at me, I can still handle it. if I, and now it's very, very difficult to change this perspective. People go to therapy for decades to really understand what is going on, but I can just go to my super intelligent version and say, hey, whatever negative events happened in my life, please paint a positive story and tell me what lessons I learned from that negative experience. And I start feeding that into my subconscious mind directly. And by the way, we do it with not just like prescriptive, like steps, because that again enters our logical mind always has some resistance. What we do is we create short stories, we create micro conversations, we also create personalized music about your life journey. And when you listen to these kind of artifacts, they go directly into your subconscious mind. So it really changes you from within 15 days, 30 days.
Thank you. And tell us, what's the impact of that? Let's say I start to now understand that, let's say I've had so many different levels of trauma, like my dad leaving me when I was 3, and the beatings, and then my grandma telling me I'm not good enough, and I'm ugly and stupid and fat. And then I know different client disappointments and different, clients not paying me and all these different things. So how does that impact my actual client that I want to impact?
Yeah.
Let's say
so you see, yeah.
I just want to tell you,
Yeah.
I want to impact 100 million people to be happier, to go after what they want, to share their stories, and to create wealth through books that transform the world. And the thing that's stopping me, that you can say that the reason why I believe I'm not there already, is because I'm still afraid of people. I'm still afraid of some people. And also I'm still afraid of certain business disappointments to repeat in the same way that they have done before. And thirdly, I'm afraid of my people pleasing in the way that I don't think I can control myself, in terms of anytime I have a client, I just overextend myself and I continue in this pattern. Tell me how this AI digital twin could help me to leverage all of these bad experiences to create financial freedom.
Excellent example. And thank you so much for being open. So you see, what you said in last few minutes, I can directly plug it into your digital twin, and I can say, help me change these perspectives, these stories that are happening in my mind, that I'm not good enough, I'm not there yet, I'm people pleasing. Shift my perspective on how I look at myself. Because look at you are making already a huge impact. You have overcome so many challenges. We tend to overlook what we have already overcome, and we always tend to remember the trauma. So the only thing that we need to do is, in our mind, it's a never ending like loop of these stories that are happening. But when you start to utilize this digital twin to shift those stories, and as I said, use your own voice to tell these stories, use micro conversations with this digital twin, use music, it starts to echo in your mind. These new stories start to echo in your mind, and starts to shift the mindset from inside out. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. So it sounds almost like this AI digital twin will be like my personal life coach. But tell me how this will translate in terms of me impacting 100 million people. How can I use this, for example, so that I can impact 100 million people, aside from transforming myself? Is there anything else that this AI digital
Absolutely. So we have a peer-reviewed scientific process for this, and there are 5 pillars on this in this process. So once we create your digital twin, the first pillar is purpose. So why are you doing this? What is your why? And average human being takes about 35,000 decisions per day, and in most cases we are just like trying to guess what that decision should be. But when you use your digital twin, within 15 minutes you can find your strongest why, and every major or minor decision that you take, you can say, please help me make my decision aligned with my purpose, aligned with my why. And that way you're optimizing every step of the way every day and getting to your destination faster. The second aspect is identity. The world does not give us what we want. The world gives us who we see ourselves as, okay, deep inside in our subconscious mind. So as I said earlier, these stories that are happening in our mind, we can start to shift them, and we can start to elevate ourselves in our own eyes, that I am worthy of that level of success. I am worthy of making that kind of impact to change the lives of 100 million people. And when it starts to echo in our mind, we start to notice the opportunities, the relationships, the connections that we used to ignore earlier, and now they just come to us, right? The next one is relationships. So even if we have the right purpose, we have the right identity, we cannot do everything alone. We can only be good at few things. So for the rest of the stuff, we need relationships, community, network, and it takes a lot of effort to build this network, right? But with AI and your digital twin, it can help you build this global network of influential people at scale. Okay. And the fourth step is creativity or courage. So as you said earlier, but the goal is kind of big, and sometimes it's scary, and we say to ourselves, who am I to think that big? And we don't want to risk what we have already built in order to accomplish the next set of goals. But imagine we can go to this digital twin and say, okay, I don't want you to tell me about my big goal of 100 million people. Just tell me how I can improve myself 1% today, 1%, only 1%. And I can take a small little action in the next half an hour. Okay. Now, it will tell you that maybe you should take a walk. Maybe you should send one email to that person that you wanted to connect with. Maybe you can pick up a phone and call somebody and build a deeper relationship. That can be done in next 30 minutes. But what happens is, when you start to improve yourself 1% a day, if you start on January 1st, by December 31st, you will be 3,700% more powerful and impactful. That's the result of compounding effect, right? And the last one is time and peace of mind. So that's where AI agents come in, because we spend 80% of our time in repetitive, non-impactful work, but if we are able to use AI agents, we can get our time back, which creates more mental space, which gives us the ability to think strategically.
Thank you. Can I use this AI digital twin to create financial freedom, in the sense of, for example, I would like to create an AI digital twin of me where I am being replicated, let's say, to have people on a membership of, I don't know how much, but basically, instead of me publishing their book, maybe they would just learn from my AI avatar how to publish, how to become famous, how to, I don't know, speak confidently, how to be featured in the media, how to organize events, all these different things that I know how to do. How can I do that to implement it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the idea. So what we can do is we can share your knowledge, upload your knowledge, your personality, your emotional aspects of your humanity, and we can replicate this as a super intelligent version of you, which you can start to share with other people. And you can say, hey, if you just want to interact with me, and if you have a few questions, here, talk to my digital twin. It will give you all the answers. This is a low cost way to get my knowledge. But if you want to work directly with me, then you upgrade yourself to a higher level of access to me. So this way you can start to serve more people and help them access your mind. And by the way, your mind will live on even when you're gone.
Thank you. How expensive is it for me to start implementing this? So let's say to transmit my knowledge to this AI digital twin, where I would teach this digital twin how to publish, how to become famous, how to organize events, all these different things. Imagine I don't have my information structured at the moment in terms of SOPs. I have some information that is structured, like online courses and so on, but I don't have too much information that is structured. A lot of the information tends to be like fractional or in a lot of different like documents and so on. So how can I leverage that in order to make this digital twin, at the cheapest possible price and most effective and in the shortest possible time frame?
Sure. So let me address the second question first. People don't realize how powerful AI is already right now. So you can give it 3 seconds of your voice and it can replicate your voice. Okay. So it doesn't need too much data. So when you say, you have unstructured data, that's the whole power of AI, that it can take unstructured data and make sense out of it. So as I said earlier, we generally just use 2 pieces of artifacts. One is your personality test and one is your emotional life experiences, and that is pretty much enough for it to start replicating you. But in your case, you may already have, like you may have a book, you may have a course, so all that material is only going to enhance its accuracy and enhance its knowledge base. So this process takes about an hour or so, but the real work comes in prompting it the right way and getting the nuggets out of it. And the whole end-to-end process takes about 90 days for you to like really get immersed with your digital twin. In terms of cost, it's a new industry right now, because if we spend 1 hour on this and it changes your life, what is the value of that for you? Like if it shaves off, like you want to reach 100 million people, and I don't know what your target timeline is for that. So let's say you want to do that in the next 10 years, but let's say with the help of digital tools, you can do it in 5 years. What is the value of that? That being said, generally it's around like it starts around $5,000, and it can like really give you that boost.
Thank you. Tell me, why is it essential for this AI digital twin to understand my emotional side? Because I never considered that. When I have someone now working on this AI writing coach that will replicate how to write and publish a book. That part of me. But tell me more about, why is it so important for people for this AI digital twin to understand my traumas and my emotional side, and what impact have on my actual success, productivity, and financial freedom?
Absolutely. See, first of all, our lives are controlled 95% by our subconscious mind. Okay. So everything that happens in our life is an emotional response. So let's take a quick example. If you see somebody buying a red flashy sports car, and you ask them, why did you buy that car? Their logical side will give you reasons like, oh, it's good warranty, good on fuel efficiency. But really, if you really think deep inside, look inside, they bought that flashy red sports car because it makes them feel certain way. When they drive down and people look at them, that's the emotional aspect. So if you don't feed that, every other book publisher, every other person in your industry, they have the same knowledge. They are going to create the same AI. They are going to all sound the same. But what makes you unique is your emotional side. Yeah. So if you want to leverage AI, if you want to really, truly transform your life, that emotional aspect is the key to success.
Thank you. How do I leverage this AI digital twin to actually leverage the fact that I have a lot of trauma in order to turn that part into financial freedom? Because, for example, let's say I'm a publisher, okay, specifically for elevating personal brands. And you can say up to now, the trauma has stopped me from doing certain actions. And how do I now turn that trauma into power? Is it through the fact that this AI digital twin will actually coach me to look at the positive side, and that will be the thing that will make me more successful? Or is it something else, like the messaging that will now the messaging that I will have, for example, on the website, will that have to change in line with this new feeling that I will have as a result of being coached?
So the mind works in very mysterious ways. Okay, so first of all, this is not coaching, this is not mentorship, this is actually directly injecting purified AI, purified intelligence into your mind. Okay, so you said it already. Trauma is pain. Pain transformed is power. Okay, it's just that we don't know how to transform that pain. Can you imagine how many millions of people there are in the world who went through similar trauma like you? Won't you like to change their life as well? So when you start to share that pain and you start to transform that pain into power, those people will start hearing your vibration and start getting closer to you like a magnet. Okay, so you turn into a magnet. So all these things that we talk about, messaging on the website and sales funnels and email newsletters and blah blah blah, these are the logical ways to attracting people. But once you start to really unlock the power of your mind, it works in mysterious ways, in that you start to magnetize yourself. So even if you don't have I have some clients, they don't even have a website, they don't have any social media, but wherever they go, people just get attached to them. The people just get magnetized to them because of the way that they are thinking about themselves, because of the way that they are talking about themselves, because of the way they talk to themselves about their own life.
Thank you. What needs to change, for example, in the way that you attract people, so that you become even more magnetic to your ideal target market? Is there anything that you can learn from this AI digital twin to make you more magnetic, more charismatic to your ideal target market? And is there any specific, I don't know, prompt or something that you would need to tell it so that you would significantly improve the messaging on your website, on your
Absolutely. The key thing is shared values, right? So we get attracted to each other as human beings when there are shared values. Like, you value financial freedom, you value overcoming challenges, you value entrepreneurship. These are common values between us, right? So when we meet somebody with common values and we understand their story, they understand our story, that is the foundation of every relationship. So once you start to amplify these core values, that's what magnetism is all about, right? So when you use this, yes, your messaging will change, yes, your clarity on your values will change, yes, you will be able to filter people out better and faster based on your common values, so that you don't waste time with people who are not aligned with you.
Thank you. Tell us where entrepreneurs can connect with you.
Yeah, you can go to my website, or you can go to my LinkedIn. Let me know you heard me on this podcast. I know my name is a little bit difficult to pronounce and spells, but if you try, just Google my name. I'm easy to find.
Thank you.
Follow me for more AI productivity tools.